If you're like me and you live in the Midwest or somewhere where there's 2 feet of snow like we've got out here in Ohio, you're getting cooped up and it's time to start cooking again. So today we're gonna go through one of my favorite recipes to do this time of year, and that is some beef jerky. Now today we're gonna be using one of the PS Seasonings beef jerky kits, and we're gonna be using a ground beef method. And I know some of you hardcore barbecue smoker addicts are gonna say, that's not real jerky, you need to use muscle, you don't wanna use ground beef. I'm gonna tell you what, if you've got the right tools and the right products, you're gonna get the job done and the final results are incredible. And I'm gonna show you today how easy it is to do and how easy you can do it, so much so that you can do it right here in your kitchen. It's about 4 degrees outside. We've got about 20 inches of snow on the ground. There is no way I'm going outside to smoke anything. So today, we're gonna be in my kitchen and we're gonna be making 5 pounds of beef jerky using ground beef. Now let's get started. Now, when it comes to making jerky, you can do it a bunch of ways. And there's a lot of science behind curing meats and temperatures and times and dryness and all kinds of equipment that is necessary to do the job the right way. Well, I'm gonna tell you that that's not necessarily true. If you start out with the basics and the right products, you can do it kind of on a minimal basis. Now, that's why I like the PS Seasoning Kits. And you're gonna say, oh, this guy must be sponsored by them. Now, I've worked with them in the past, but I bought both of these off Amazon. I got them in 2 days. They've got a bunch of different flavors. And the nice thing is they come in 5-pound packs so that you can make 5-pound increments at a time. And it comes with not only the seasoning, but also the curing kit as well. So that when you make this, you're not gonna have to worry about this jerky spoiling as long as you follow the instructions and you store it properly. So what's very important is that you end up with lean meat. Typically, you're gonna see like 96 or 97% lean is what is gonna be recommended for this. So today I have 5 pounds of 96.4 lean ground beef. Got this at the store. It's a little pricey. It's about $9 a pound. It's a bit pricey. This is very simple. The next tool that I'm gonna recommend, but this is not necessarily for everyone. If jerky is something that you love and you intend on investing a lot of time into making jerky, a jerky gun is the way to do it. This is basically like a caulk gun. It's very similar, except they have different tips and nozzles so that you can make jerky with it. These typically run about $40 or $50. If you're just making one batch of jerky, it's a lot of money to invest. Now, I make a lot of jerky. I use this for some other things as well on the channel, so it was very easy for me to justify the expense. But there is another method which I will show you a little bit, but we're not gonna spend a ton of time on it because I do have a jerky gun. You can accomplish this with a rolling pin and with parchment paper. With these two things, you can thin out the meat and you can cut it yourself into strips, just like we're gonna create with the jerky gun. It's a little bit more effort, but you don't really have to invest in any extra equipment. So for a $15 box of seasoning, you can make 25 pounds of jerky, and then all you have to do is make sure you have the parchment paper, a rolling pin, and the meat to go along with it. Now, it's pretty much time to dive into making the jerky, so let's do it. So I'm gonna crack this open here. And you're gonna see that in here, you have individual packs. And I will stand corrected. This makes 15 pounds of jerky, not 25, my mistake. In here, you have 3 individual seasoning packs. You have 3 individual curing packs. So for today, we're gonna need 1 seasoning and 1 curing. I can go ahead and set the others back in the box and out of the way. You're gonna need a big mixing bowl because we're gonna have 5 pounds of meat. We're gonna have a lot of meat to mix. You're also gonna need 5 pounds of meat. So I've got that here. I'm gonna go ahead and get this into the bowl. Got the 5 pounds in the bowl. I'm gonna break up the meat a little bit. Now it helps if the meat is cold. It is usually best to have it cold. So, don't have this sitting out warming up. Pull it straight out of the refrigerator before you start working with it. Got my seasoning kit here. And get this mixed in. We have our curing solution here. We'll get this mixed in. And we have 1/2 cup of cold water. Now we're going to take the time here to really mix this in real well. You want to make sure that there's no real streaking with the colors from the seasoning, and you want to make sure that it's mixed really, really well. No clumpiness, no visible seasonings. You want that mixed nicely. The next thing that you're gonna need in general for this is a wire rack. You're gonna need quite a few of them. I'll put a link down in the description to some jerky related ones. I just have a bunch of different ones from different baking sheets and some that I use on the smoker. But you're gonna need something that holds a lot of volume, because I'm gonna have racks on racks inside of this oven in order to do 5 pounds of jerky in one run in the oven. I've got my gun here. Very simple. With the gun, it's got a funnel attachment, so I can funnel the meat right down into it, and I can just start packing this right down into the gun. Now, I'm gonna run them this way, and I wanna run this about as tight as I can. Helps to have a knife nearby so that you can cut some of the jerky down to the end when it's time. But I'm gonna run it just so that there's a little bit of space in between each row of the jerky. There we go. We're just gonna keep doing this. You can see when you compare this to the rolling pin method, this way is a little bit easier, wouldn't you say? You seem to have got the gist of this. You can use a rolling pin, you can use a jerky gun, but the end result is what you see on this sheet here. This is what you're looking to get out of it. I'm gonna go ahead and get this finished up, and I'm gonna meet you at the oven when it's time to get it in. Now would be a good time to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. I will see you when it is time to get this in. So with 5 pounds of meat, we ended up with 3 full racks of jerky. Get the oven preheated to 180 degrees. It's time to get these in. Now, a couple things you need to know about making jerky. We're not cooking it, we're drying it. So it's about airflow. I like to use foil all the way at the bottom. I have 4 racks in my oven. I only need 3 for this. So my bottom rack, I am gonna put foil just in case anything drips down. I don't wanna make a mess in my oven. My wife will kill me. The other key is the oven itself needs to stay open about 1 inch. Now my oven here is a newer LG oven. It has an alarm on it, and it's not gonna let me do that without this annoying beep that's gonna keep going on. So with mine, I can actually find a sweet spot to where it will stay open and not beep. If you have an older style oven, or maybe your newer oven can turn it off. I haven't figured out a way to turn mine off. So what I do is I take a silicone like pot holder, and I fold it and I wedge it in the door, so that when I close the door, it keeps it open. It doesn't let it shut all the way, and it lets air flow. The reason why is as this meat cooks, the moisture is gonna be leaving the meat. If we leave the door shut, it's gonna be like a sauna in there. The purpose is drying it, so we need the moisture to leave. Thus, why we wanna leave the door open. So at least for the first hour, we wanna do this. So if you can, and your oven will stay open about 1 inch on its own without beeping like crazy, you live in a better world than I do. But if you're in a situation like me, I've found that an oven mitt or one of these little silicone pot holders, if you fold it, get it right in the door, you can keep the door open without the alarm going off. Enough talking about doors and ovens. It's time to get the jerky in. Let's do it. Now I've got the jerky in the oven. So what do we do now? We've got an hour right now with the door cracked open. You'll hear, see, my door is still open a little bit. Now I've found with my oven, I've got that silicone pot holder in. I can just kind of press on the door a little bit and I'll get it to stop. Maybe while we're talking, we won't hear it anymore. Another hour at this temperature, you're gonna let it go. You don't have to worry about checking it. Just make sure that you have that airflow. You're allowing that moisture to escape from the oven. At that point, we're gonna take a look at it and you wanna flip all of those pieces of jerky and we want to start drying this. At this point, on the 30-minute intervals, we're gonna be checking it and we're gonna be checking to see how dry it is. This is gonna take hours. How many? You're gonna have to stick around to find out. I'll show you what we're talking about when we get there. All right, we are about approaching 6 hours, 180 degrees. This jerky's looking great. I'm gonna bump this temperature up for about 5 minutes to 300 degrees to just verify we've got everything nice and warm and we've crossed that 165 degrees mark on all of the meat. But in general, the jerky all looks great. 5 minutes, 300 degrees, that should be enough. After about 6 hours in the oven, we've got the jerky that we were looking for. You really need this to cool. You really need this to honestly cool down. But there's gonna be some fat that is rendered. It's gonna feel greasy. So what I like to do is what you see here. I've got a layer of paper towel underneath and I've got the strips of jerky laid out and I'm just gonna take the paper towel and I'm just gonna firmly press it down on here just to pick up any grease that's on the surface, any oils or rendered down fat that is on the surface. It's just gonna help store better in the long run. You can see by just looking at the paper towel, you can see the grease that I've pulled off on this bunch. This stuff here is good. I'm gonna keep grabbing from this pile here and do this with more. Once I've got this all cleaned up per se, I guess we'll call it cleaned up, I'm gonna let this cool down, get down below room temperature. You could even put it in the refrigerator if you really wanted to. And that is when it's gonna be time to try it. So what you're gonna see here is me just getting the oils off of the surface here, and then it'll be kind of a resting period until it's ready to actually try. After about 6 hours and about $65, we've got a bunch of jerky. It's time to give it a try because all of this is worth nothing unless we approve. We're gonna give it a whirl. Flavor's definitely on point. And I know a lot of people are gonna criticize using ground beef. And I will tell you the first thing that I will tell you from my experience, because I've made beef jerky plenty of times, and to be honest with you, I go the ground beef method way more often than I do lean muscle. The reason why is it's very consistent. Have you ever bought a bag of jerky and you spend $12 or $15 for it, and then you go take a bite and it's so hard it hurts your teeth? This stuff is consistent, and it's the right amount of tenderness with the right amount of chew, and it's got great flavor. And that all comes from the PS Seasoning Jerky Kit. And honestly, it's minimal effort. Sure, it took upwards of 6 hours. It took probably 30 minutes to prep, give or take. You know, I'm running cameras and things like that, so my time's gonna be a little skewed, whereas yours isn't going to be. But I watched TV, I ran some errands, like we had a lot of things going on today. I really didn't need to put a lot of focus on this. I just kept an eye on it. I rotated it. I rotated the racks within the oven because I noticed that they weren't cooking at the same consistency, like from the top rack to the bottom rack. And other than that, it's pretty effortless. Wiped that fat off before we cooled it down. And you can see, even 5 pounds of jerky, we got a lot of jerky here. Granted, I wish we had more, but at the end of the day, I got 2 more 5-pound packets out of this, so I can make essentially 2 more batches of this. And then I've got the prime rib kit that I'm gonna also use. As soon as the weather breaks and gives us a little bit of wiggle room from them single-digit temperatures and the 20 inches of snow that's outside, I'm gonna be out doing some of this jerky on the smoker. But whether you have a smoker or you don't, you've got an oven. I'm sure you do. And you can get it done right in your house and have some incredible jerky just like this. And if you want more good recipes, whether it's on the smoker or in the oven, or you're trying to replicate the best barbecue possible with the instruments that you have, then I suggest you check out my channel, subscribe, maybe check out this video right here.